Hello everybody and welcome to this new video. Let's see about this. Now this is the first video about working somewhere. I used to do videos about just like job search or job hunt, this kind of like work hunts and stuff, and how to get your advantage there. However, if you already accepted the offer, you had the next steps before you go to the first day, and now we're going for the first day at work. Since I'm not going to jump like straight away into this arguments with the employer or anything like that, uh, because this channel is more about like let's take the baby steps to reach the goal. So small steps but big gains. And I try to go as much as in detail as possible and explain it the most down to earth way for you to understand. And I'm really sorry, guys, that right now I know that sorry, work is going like this. Work is going very badly, and there is a lot of cuts and stuff like that happening in the world. Inflation, all this elections, wars, and stuff. I could complain about it for like 2 hours as well, but I mean, the thing is that about the psychology is usually that people like to know more about positive things than negative, because anyone can complain and anyone can have their own opinion about stuff, but in the end it's about what we can do about it, because that's what every psychologist would tell you as well, that start from yourself and stuff like this. So once you don't have once you have this thing mindset that you can only work on yourself basically, then you're going to do more stuff, because the thing is that even though if I'm not sure, like the presidential election like in the US is starting like tomorrow, right? So even though if Kamala Harris or Trump would win that, I would say that they are not going to be the saviors of the world about your life. So even if like Trump gets to power, your life doesn't go better like on the first day. And that's why we also go to the first day at work, that you can do something about this first day, that people start, because these things are like more the politics and stuff. They are actually direct impacts that some aspects like economy for you and conditions for the environment, but they are not defining the life. And people have had pretty tough lives, let's say, even in the western worlds, even especially in like third world countries, like countries in South America, Africa, and Asia. There might be very difficult lives there, and they would do anything to change their lives with you. So just a little bit of mention here that sorry about if I'm getting too swayed in the topic, but I mean, if like for the US, for example, if you have this privilege to be a US citizen, that's already a big thing. And if you can elect basically the future of the world, it's a big thing, and you better go to elect, because then at least your decision can help some of the people. And that's what I want to do with my channel as well. I want to help people to find work and to be keeping the work in these difficult times, because right now times are really difficult, and they are going to watch every step that you are going to make, and especially on your first day at work. So yeah, sorry about that, but let's go jump into the topic. And what is the first day at work about? It's about meeting the team. So first of all, what they're going to do is most likely that basically you're going to be thrown into the office. You might like have a tour first, or have you set up your computer first, or maybe meet some people there in the office, because there will be some people that are already working by the time that you arrive in the office. And these people, whether they are in the same like open space office, or this kind of a, if you have like a closed room, then maybe in the closed room there are some people that are working with you, or usually it's like open space offices in the world, and all those people, they can come to you to random times and then basically ask you questions, and these are going to be the same questions as you already went over in your job interview. That's basically introduce yourself, where did you study and work before, and why this company. Because they all will be interested in these kind of topics, especially when you're a new person. And I understand that, like, basically the first day is usually absorbing too much information in general, because there's so many people that want to know what you are about, because you are basically a stranger in their comfort zone. First of all, some people don't care, but I mean, some people will be curious as well. There will be always this kind of people that are asking questions, guys. If you watch all those seminars and stuff, conferences, then you can see that there will be always the same people asking questions, and these guys are working in the basically around the offices like you are. So there might be like one or two guys that are actually very interested in get to know you in the first place. And yeah, so it's better to prepare for these kind of questions than introduce yourself. Of course, it's like a good topic is to always talk about your like life, what you're doing, like hobbies and sports, uh, and stuff like that. I mean, that's pretty obvious for everybody, though. I don't think I need to go over those questions, because I mean, why this company is something more like you will have to mention something else. And where did you work and study before? Study doesn't matter too much, but work matters in a sense that basically uh, when they're going to ask you that why did you quit, it has to be the same answer as you did answer to your boss in the job interview, or to the HR or people like that, because otherwise it can be some gossips around you and stuff like this. And the gossips are very common in nowadays environment, especially in these difficult times. So be mindful of that, that your answers are the same as basically, you know, everywhere else. And it would be good to be excited to talk about it as well, because then they're going to see that you're this kind of happy kind of person, see the positive, not just, you know, tired of answering the same questions again, or like gathering people together before you answer their questions, so because you couldn't start a conversation with them. And maybe that conversation in the first place is the most important thing that you have with this colleague, because that's how she or he is going to judge you in the first place. And yeah, so why this company? Let's go over that, because this is also that you will have to know something about this, something about the background of the company. And if you pick this offer out of all the stuff, or it was the only offer, then it's not good to mention that it was the only offer that you received. It would be basically that, yeah, these companies, you know, had a good background, and it seemed to be very interesting, and the homepage was very fulfilling, that they actually have a lot of information there and a lot of manuals and stuff like that that you can mention. Then it shows that this company's company's background is pretty good. And also maybe it was a startup that you like startups, or it was more like not so big of a company that you like to have like maybe only certain amount of people there, not too many, because otherwise people get lost in the company, or you don't know everybody, and etc. And yeah, sorry, I'm going to the big companies review, because usually in the small companies it's not too many names or places to remember if they're giving you an office tour. So let's go to the office tour. There are too many names and places to remember. This means that you know, if they're going to introduce you all the department, it might be like 30 plus people in your department alone, and you are basically like not remembering those names in the first day. Even if the department is small, if it's like 8 people or anything like that, then I mean, still might be a little bit difficult to remember the names in the first day. But it would be good to take notes about these things, especially the ones that are in the same open space as you are, because this open space is basically everything. Unless there's like hundreds of people in this open space in your floor, then I think it's good to write down the names at least of your neighbors, so you will know who to turn to with the questions later, and who to ask about advice, and the next point also. And places to remember can be also that the office layout is a little bit strange, or this kind of floors are a little bit strange, but don't worry about it. This will come really fast. I don't think that anybody judge people based on these kind of things. So far, I haven't been judged about that. But yeah, it's better to remember, and it can be one of the things that can impress them. In case you already in the first day you know that who is where, and you are asking them a question, turning directly to them with their name, and that's already psychological factor that basically people get flattened that you call them by their name. And yeah, same with the places that if they already see that you're going to the kitchen in your first day, or like going to some kind of other floor to ask some question from the HR or whatever, it's they can be basically impressed by these things, and can see that you have a good memory. That's one of the good traits that can be with this kind of thing that you can do. And yeah, so ask someone to help you with the coffee or to guide you to the smoking place. That's also you can ask for water also. It's not doesn't have to be coffee or smoking, but you can ask first where I can get some water, or where was the sink, the closest sink or water machine, or whatever you have there. And where are these things located in case you didn't get an office tour. However, it would be good to invite somebody to the coffee in the office and talk a little bit more about work aside from their work something, because they also, like your co-workers, they don't want you to they don't want to always think about work as well. They want to have breaks, and a coffee break with you for the new guy or new girl can be interesting, because they don't know about you that well yet, and they will have a lot of questions to you. So yeah, it would be good. Or if somebody goes for the coffee and he or she mentions it, then you can say that, oh, you're going for the coffee, I want some coffee as well, something like that. Or for the smoking, it's even better. It's like you're going actually somewhere outside to smoke usually. Unless they really have like smoking rooms, but I don't think that there might be that many of these. So yeah, it's if you're already going out with somebody to the smoke for like 10 minutes or so, then you can talk more than just getting a coffee from the machine and waiting for it to get ready. It's maybe only like 1 or 2 minutes that you can mention some generalized stuff only. So yeah, it's actually also these coffee corners and smoking corners, they have this specific aura there that the people are more gossiping about these kind of things that are happening in the company, and within 10 minutes you can talk a lot about this company and get to know this company more. If you are a smoker and you're going to smoke with somebody somewhere, and he or she is going to tell you that this company is okayish, but it's not quite there because of this, this and that, and you realize that it's actually those values that are important for you, then actually I think you should double check if this company is really for you. It's easy to say that all the companies would be for me. It's good that I got some offer, but in the end, you don't want to be, always struggling there. And especially when they are not going together with your values, that you are always being afraid and stressed out and stuff like that, might be very damaging for your mental health. So remember that you also have some leverage to quit the job like immediately, especially in the probation periods. If in case the contract is for like 1 year, you will have to strictly, as I mentioned in the other video, that read about the conditions first and see when you can quit, when you can be fired, when you can be laid off. Those three conditions, and check what kind of support comes with this and stuff like that. Because in the first day, it's actually they are not speaking much about it, but you will have to be still cautious already in the first days or first weeks, because I think in the first weeks they are kind of like asking for the feedback already, and that will be, difficult to reply. That you just said that, oh, I was good, I was doing good, and I like your company and stuff, and then they realize that actually now they have the leverage all the time, because you are kind of in a desperate situation not to lose the job. So basically, yeah, it would be good to make some friendships right off the first day, I think. So yeah, ask for the coffee, or somebody like show how the coffee is done, because all these machines might be different and stuff like that. Of course, even if you know, it is still good to ask, because somebody can actually join you for the coffee, and still you can have a chat with them. That's why I think that this one is pretty important. However, I think in this this has to be a little bit mentioned here. Sometimes the coffee corners, especially, are a little bit too public. Let's say that it's in the middle of everything, and you cannot really gossip too much about there, because the colleagues and co-workers, they are going to overhear what you have to say, and there will be more gossip in outside, like in the smoking place. So yeah, the water or coffee might not cut it all the time. So another thing, yes. Then also ask about meetings in the department. That's one of the questions that you can ask. That shows your dedication already, shows that you are onto this kind of things, that you want to be clear about some meetings and book them in your calendar. So that would be a good thing to ask, if in case they don't mention it to you in the first day. So that means that you are kind of like showing an initiative to there. And yeah, fifth thing, I was actually kind of debating on if to put here, because mentor or shadowing later on or on the next days. The thing is that now in nowadays world, it's very very good to have a mentor or shadowing somebody, right? Somebody is like sitting next to you and showing how it's done. I remember this because I was very good at this, like introducing these kind of things to the new guys, just showing step by step what to do in details, like I do in these videos, a very down to earth way, and this has been one of my strengths. However, like I wouldn't say that I had always like time to do it, and so it's the companies also. Even if you have a mentor or shadowing, how do you say this? Shadow wearer or whatever. Not shadow wearer, but basically the guy that you're going to be shadowing. So if you have a mentor or somebody like that, it's very good, but usually you don't have this chance, because nobody has time, and they are going to tell you that they don't have time no matter what. And even if they have time, then the thing about shadowing is that you are going to be sitting next to them like all day, right? And what if they're thinking like this way? Okay, I have a lot of work to do, but only for half a day. What are you going to do other half? Are you going to already see that I'm not doing any work, and you are going to tell it to the boss? So that's one of the issues why they might not accept it, why they don't want to kind of like mentor or be this one that is doing shadowing for you. So you will have to think about these aspects also, that sometimes it's not very good to ask, and can ruin the relationships, especially when there is not too much to be done at these times, or if they are too busy. It can also offend them that they're going to be even more in a time trouble, and because of you come there, and basically they get this extra duty that they are not even getting paid by. As for me, I've always wanted to help people, and even if I had a lot of stuff to do, I was always like there for them, and for in case they had questions, or something was not understood, or even if I was also, I think what helped me was I was super fast also. That also helped me with computer. So I could still get my stuff done, but I was have to hurry pretty often, because sometimes these things is also, if you're mentoring somebody, it can cost you a lot of time. But in case you find somebody like that, it will be very, very good. Then you will need basically you will learn the profession already in like the first week, or even in the first day, if you are already know about this scene. So for example, for this electrical engineer, as we always bring an example, she can basically learn stuff in a week if somebody was doing this kind of mentoring for her, because she didn't have a previous experience as electrical engineer. But in case she had, Kira Smira had, this previous experiences as an electrical engineer, then this would have been easier for her, and probably she would have learned this company's specifics in like 1 or 2 days, or maybe some matter of hours or something like that. It's very different from based on the job experience that you have. And in the first job, I think it was taking me a little bit more than a week, so it took me like 2 weeks, maybe a month, but usually it takes around a week, to be honest, because even though the probation periods nowadays are pretty like time consuming, like I think they're like 3 to 12 months or something. I mean, by 12 months it's like you already know about stuff usually, unless it's like rocket science, then it can be really difficult, or some higher level position that you don't know about, or you didn't have a like studies based on that or something like this. And I mean, one thing is to know about those things, but the other thing is to feel comfortable about those things. The comfortability comes later, of course, because you will do things faster once you have worked there for years. However, like knowing about some specifics already comes earlier. It's just that you are doing things very slow. That's the thing, or you're making mistakes. That's another thing. So there's two things: that you are doing things slow, or you're making mistakes, but you know generally how the processes work in 1 week. That's what I want to say, because it's very easy to argue that sometimes you need years to be adapted to there. And I understand some positions are like that, but I think that's more about feeling comfortable at the job rather than knowing about the job. So yeah, these kind of things is good to mention out here. And remember that mentoring or asking to shadow somebody might not always be a good thing, but in the other sense, if you are asking this question, can be also benefiting you, because you get the things learned faster. And remember, like your employer is paying basically for every hour that you are there. So in case those hours are wasted or learned, or taking more time to study, they are not going to continue with you after the probation. So keep in mindful of that. So it's sometimes better to, especially when you don't know about the topic, it's good to shadow somebody, or at least if they cannot do everything for you, showing everything like for the full day, you can ask about shadowing them for like an hour or half an hour or so. It's still better than nothing already, especially when they're busy. And I don't think like half an hour does too much damage to them. Number 2 is to set up the computer. So there's a very common things that first you have to do an admin account for your Windows, change the password and stuff, because they usually have it already. stuff like this, set up the accesses to necessary programs. That's what they're going to do. They're going to basically put this computer on the table that you're going to sit, and then going to tell you how it works. And as in this photo, I think it's a little bit too much of an open office, that this one is not very good one, because this guy, for example, like if he works and the other guys are walking from here on the left, then basically they can see everything that he does. And if he's a new employee, then basically a lot of guys can watch what he's doing or what she's doing, if they're doing any work or reading the news or whatever, these kind of things. And of course, like if you want those kind of behind positions, it's usually reserved by the managers, or not always the managers. It's sometimes the guys, this people that have been like seniors in this job, because they basically usually move their desk to the guy that left or girl that left when they have a chance. And especially in nowadays world, where I like to say that they are doing a lot of cuts, then probably some of these positions will open here, and if this guy is like the second senior here, he will go and move himself there, so that nobody can see what if he's reading the news or watching some Netflix or something on his free time at work, because not every job is like 8 hours of work or 9 hours at work. Some of the jobs are very, very diverse. That part, like for example, like half of the day you are doing work, half of the day you are resting. But nowadays I think it's mostly that you have 8 or 9 hours full worked or booked for the work, and that would be very stressful to do. But some of the people that can manage it is actually having the advantage, because you are very resilient to the workload, and that's a good thing to have. So yeah, sorry. But get accesses to necessary programs. Is the thing is that there's going to be some still like internal programs of the companies, especially in the big companies. They have plenty of these. For you name it, there's like so many of these. Of course, they might use like Google Sheets and stuff or some like sales, or kind of like prices. Also for like warehousing, all these things they can use like Google Sheets. However, there's other stuff like some intranets or extranets. I think these programs that somebody's sending you order from. So in case of Amazon, for example, like I like to say, is that they're going to the client is going to make an order in Amazon, and by this order it goes directly to their system, this order, and that will be after you receive this order, it will be through this program. And these ones are specific ones. I don't think that Google Sheets kind of allows it, but sometimes it can be displayed there, or some kind of you can make a like automatic thing that when they are sending an order, it can be also in Google Sheets somehow. So yeah, it can be many options, but usually they have a specific program for that, because the Google Sheets will get really large, especially for the big companies, and all those programs that are there. There's plenty of them for as I said, invoices and this orders are in separate ones, complaints are in separate ones, you name it. It's basically at least what I've seen is like at least 3 or 4 or something like that. Maybe they have their own authenticators and categorization programs as well that you might not even need, but still you need the authentication and to do step of authentication to be secure company and stuff like that. So yeah, it's plenty of programs that you will need to have access to, and as I mentioned about programs, one of these is like Gmail or Outlook nowadays, and with these things is the capacity is like 25 megabytes for Gmail and 50 I think for Outlook, as sending out the email. Or was it like 20 and 25, something like that? I think in Outlook was like 20. So basically, this is also a problem that your company has to maybe figure out if they are going to have sent large emails, and if you can send out like some screenshots or photos or something like that, because sometimes there might be too many. And the third advice here is also that make some email signatures. This means that it would be good to have a signature in all the languages that you're operating in. So in case, for example, if you have to speak like French, German, and English, and you're dealing with clients in these kind of countries, then you will have to have all the signatures in all of these three languages as well. I think even in Switzerland it's like that. So you will have to have a signature for every client specifically, because otherwise they're not going to understand who you actually are, or they have to maybe use the Google Translate and they will be very disappointed already with your execution and stuff like that. So it's good to make some signatures, and not only maybe the signatures, maybe you can also make some very commonly used phrases or sentences that you have to use for your job. For example, that this automatic reply that they're always going to send you when they're going to reject you in the job, or this kind of thing, that we proceeded, we're sorry to inform you, but we proceeded with the candidates that are meeting even more to our expectations, and stuff like that. It can be also made in the signatures, then it will be much faster to send out the emails. That can basically reduce your work time significantly already. Make sure that you have all the stuff like that. But signatures can, maybe if you don't have to like jump right into the client communication, then you can also make it on the next day, because you will have to make some choices that if you have to prioritize some stuff or not. And that's actually the problem in the first day, is that you have so much information in the first day and you are like very confused which one you should prioritize or which one you should focus on. And I think the most important ones is that you get all these signatures done, not for the emails, but for more of these contracts and stuff like that, if you didn't do it before. And the other important trait is that listen what your boss has to say, because they are the ones that actually hired you. And if they're having some idea about something, then you should follow their lead, or maybe even ask them that, I'm on my first day, so any hints what should I prioritize or something like that. And even if the HR is like interfering, you remember that you are there basically because you get paid, and basically because you do job, sorry, and you get paid, like time is money for them. And even in case like it's taking too long, or the HR is giving you too many tasks, you should maybe sometimes, if it doesn't require a signature, you should put it in the background, like all those trainings that you have to pass or something like that. And if there is like I don't know, some time frame that you can pass those trainings, you can always you don't have to do it on the first day, if you get what I mean. I think I will prioritize the one that is actually my job, is going to be my job, then I can already start working on the next day. So that would be the core value of the thing, that if you have a choice between if you can do a job, what you're going to do in the future on the next day, or you can do some kind of like blending in, or I don't know, stuff like that, getting yourself on the same page with the team, then I would focus on first of all about the job. Because taking a week to blend in or something like that without knowing anything what you're going to do is a little bit sad. and especially when they're going to send you already to the trainings or stuff like that, and you are being asked to introduce yourself and maybe something that about this subject, and then you're like, I'm not even sure what I'm going to do, and then everybody laughs in the meeting. So I've also had these cases, not with me but with some other guys. So yeah, make sure that you prioritize stuff. Then we have number 4, that write down info preferably in the Google Docs or OneNote. Now, this thing is that you can have just one file. You don't have to categorize it immediately. You can just have like Google Docs and write everything that you receive in there. And maybe on the next day, if you don't have anything to do or no duties yet or no clients that you have to communicate with already, make basically a Google Docs, and you can start categorizing in the next day, and basically like making your final thesis. You just put all the information in one place and then you structure it later. That's the one that I would do. But however, there's actually a very good program. I don't know why they don't have it in Google Drive. That's called OneNote, and this one is actually allowing you to categorize very well. You don't maybe even have to do a folder in your desktop or stuff like that, or you can just basically do it in a program. This categorizing, and categorizing is a very, very good thing to do. In OneNote you can basically categorize as many things as you want, and especially with things like rocket science, for example. If you're going to do it, you will have to have very clear understanding of every process, otherwise this rocket is going to fail and it's going to cost a lot of money. So it would be good to categorize stuff, make yourself into this topic. Basically, as for the rockets, you read the manuals, you read the previous tests and stuff like that, summaries, put it all in there, put some hints there, and maybe you can turn back to it later on, read it again in the categorized way. Since this one is for you, it's not for anybody else. If they have a manual on their own, it's very, very good, but this manual is just one part of your notes. This is your notes. It can be more than just one manual. That would be, from the manual you can also, like, if it's very well made, you can always like copy paste it to your OneNote as well. However, it's those things that that you're going to forget, write them down and add to this kind of manual. And if there's no very detailed steps there, or it's very, very generalized, then even better, you can make your own very detailed way, as I'm doing with those videos. I don't know how to get more into details than these videos, because I think nowadays there is a very huge issue with the job scene, is that very many things are generalized and not shown how are the steps made, or how is the conclusions being worked on, or stuff like that. So it would be very, very good to basically make yourself a detailed understanding of every process, and very, very good ways to have those examples as well. Sometimes in the rocket science there is as I mentioned before, previous tests of the rockets, they are very good examples in what happened in the real life. If the rocket exploded in the mid-air, or if it actually touched the orbit or something like that. So make yourself this kind of notes that you think will be very necessary and will help you to understand how it actually operates in the real life. Because sometimes in the office, as in this kind of office, it's you only see the people, kitchen, and your computer. You don't see how this process actually gets done in the real life, because the office workers are usually the ones that are not the core workers. The core is basically the guys that get the job done. They are maybe managing some kind of garbage truck or something that is driving. But I think it's a sales office, so they're going to manage some clients and stuff like that, call to the clients, get the deal done. But this kind of product that they are selling is manufactured somewhere else, and it's the manufacturer is the core worker that gets the stuff manufactured and distributed. And distributed doesn't mean only the guy in the office, but it means also that it is actually imported by somebody, like with a ship, like a sailor or captain, sorry, and those I don't know, some kind of like truck drivers that are doing the last mile or something like that. It's there's very many links in this system, and it's not only that you will have to think about all the system, not just this one job that you are doing. I mean, you can do it, but it doesn't give them too good of an idea at the start. Maybe if you get your job done every time, yes, and you are not threatening the boss, yes, okay, but once you're thinking outside the box, you are somebody special for them, and that would be very good vibe in the first day. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. And on the free time, start to categorize stuff. If you run into problem that, okay, well, I was working for like 7 hours, blending in and doing this OneNotes and stuff, I want to do something easier in the last hour, then you can start structuring your Google Docs or OneNote or whatever you do, or maybe make yourself some work folder in your desktop, put all the stuff categorized there, stuff like this. It will help you later, and doesn't have to be done in the first day. You can always do these kind of things. It is very, very influential. And yeah, so there's some more stuff that it's good to know, especially ask about, because sometimes these things get lost. Birthdays and traditions. If you're having like birthday very, very soon, for example, and you don't know how they are going to celebrate the birthdays, you will have to know that, guys, what do I have to do, or what is your traditions on this? Because you might find very unexpected surprises there, and every company has it different. Maybe some of them don't even do this kind of things, or just like send you a text message like, okay, happy birthday. But some companies, they are actually like celebrating every birthdays, or showing you that, even coming to shake your hands or something like that, or to hug you and stuff like this. It's very, very common nowadays, so it's good to know that how is it going to work. If somebody else has birthday, then yes, you can just join with whatever they do. However, sometimes if they're going to have some gifts, make sure that you know how much money you have to spend on these kind of things, because it might be too much, and it's another value that you might have, that you are already working for a low salary, and then you still have to pay for the birthday or something like that. So that's one more thing. And if you have a very big department, then the birthday is going to be like every second week, right? It's good to know that what you are going to pay the money for. So it's good stuff to know. Definitely ask about it. And yeah, give the work your 100% on the first weeks and months. I think for those steps that I mentioned before, it's very, it's going to be very, moving into this direction, because people will see what you're going to do. Especially, as I mentioned before, you're going to sit in the position that everybody's going to see your screen, most likely, because all the other spots are taken. It's the same thing as somebody visits you, that if they're going to visit you, they're going to choose the spot in your table that is going to see all of the room, because they feel safer from this kind of seat. They are not going to sit somewhere that they have to turn their back onto something that is unknown, or somebody unknown can enter unless they have no other chance if you're already like stealing their spot or something like that. So yeah, it's about human psychology, and yeah, so give the work 100%, and those first weeks and months are very very influential. They're going to decide if you're going to stay or not. They're going to have some gossips around managers, all those things. Showing some results to there is very very influential, and they're going to remember all your mistakes that you did, and trust me, they are going to, in these times, especially when everybody's checking for where they can cut more and more people, then you are the one that is most in danger, because you are the new guy. As I said in the next previous video as well, I think. And yeah, some more tips is that write down the phone calls. So if you have to call to the client, I mean, by any means you are allowed to, with your first call, to write it down in a notebook or something, and write down their answers in the phone call. All those things, it's or those things that you have to agree on. If you get the sales done or not, if you get the time put or not, if you get answer or not, if you're getting a name or not. It's very very good things to note down, and it's good to, even if it's just an introduction, it's still better, because I mean, the worst thing that you can do is to basically have the phone call where you are like initiating it and then freeze. You're basically frozen and you cannot do anything. You're just like start to talk about nonsense or something, or if they realize that you are too nervous or something like that, might be a lot of things. And especially those first words in the phone call are very influential again. And why they are influential is that basically this kind of first words is what do you mean? Okay, first words. Let's see. You're going to introduce yourself, and if you are like silent for like 10 seconds, they're going to hang up the call, right? Other than that, they might think that you're a scammer and they can block your number. So don't do that. Make sure that you know your procedure, and even if you freeze or something like that, you have basically a script that you can follow for this kind of phone call and get the structure going there. I mean, I know that the phone call can be really scary, especially nowadays, but it's very learnable. It's easy to learn, especially when you write down those things. I don't think you should have any problems while you write it down, and especially like if you even watch Mr. Beast video, like I mean in YouTube, right? So the first thing that he always does in his videos, what's the very first thing? It's always going to be very loud screaming. And why is he doing that? Because to get your attention. As you can see, I'm not screaming in my videos because I don't really go for these kind of things, and I don't want like, I don't know, 300 million followers or something like that. I'm happy if I'm already having, people that I've helped, and I'm doing it as my hobby. He's doing it full-time work. So there's the difference. But if you want to scam YouTube algorithms or something like that, then yes, you have to basically scream as loud as you can in your first sentence to get everybody's attention, and then go into details that what did you do, and the short summary and coming up and all these things, and keep the video short and edit those videos and so on. And as you can see here, I'm like always improvising with my videos. I'm doing it a very different way. But the thing is that not that I would not want to do it, but it's just not my full-time job. So it's always the hobby. And I'm just doing it out of basically to help people. And I know that if I'm going to do all those things that follow the YouTube algorithms or something like that, then it means that I'm going to give you very generalized stuff and it doesn't help anybody. So once you have seen those videos that maybe, you know, even last for like 30 minutes or an hour, or like my videos, or maybe 2 hours, some of the people speak very general stuff, and then you're like, you're seeing like one point in the video that starts that you want to watch it, that video, like a short summary about the most interesting part, and then becomes out that this part comes in the end, and you wasted like 1 hour just for this one part, this new information piece that you were looking for, and found nothing new from these videos. Or while you were watching, you were thinking, oh, okay, cool, I've learned a lot of new stuff, and then at the end of the video you are like, what did I actually learn? So yeah, it's difficult to follow the generalized stuff, easier to follow this kind of detailed stuff, that easier to ask questions about it, because everybody can follow those things. The generalized stuff is very difficult to follow sometimes, that if somebody's just talking what people want to hear. So yeah, sorry about those YouTubers that are doing those things, but anyways, yeah, it's better to write it down and get into detail, introduce yourself, because then they will gain your trust. I mean, you don't have to scream at them like Mr. Beast or anything like that, but I mean, just be, polite for them, because screaming, I think when you can scream in your goal, but I think it will be very impolite to do that. Other people might be hanging up for yelling at them, because not everybody likes to be yelled at. And then double check the emails before sending them out. Now this thing is also important. As for email, you don't have to act like right off the bat like with a phone call. So with the email, you have more time to check it over and over again if everything is correct and everything is perfect before you send it out. You don't have to rush with them, and you can ask from your colleagues that, what did you see? Maybe you can check my first email, and before I send it out, is it okay to write like this? Just invite them over for a second and stuff like that, and they are going to give you suggestions, and you can of course fix the mistakes and send out the good email and get the information that you need to know. And then we have the final point, is that actually use a calendar. Now, why is it a very important point is that it's also in this drawing here. The thing is that it has to be like that, because other than that, you might have running into difficulties that you're not remembering everything that you have to do. If these things are also in your calendar, I mean, if they are hidden in OneNote or this kind of desktop folder or Google Docs or something like that, you might not open it all the time. But as for the calendar, it's going to give you a notification that okay, I have something to be in, like a meeting or somewhere that I needed to deal with this kind of problem at this time, or book yourself time to deal with this problem. Very good to do these kind of things, and especially when you're like in a very fast working environment, book it full then. I mean, if you don't have time in a day, then just book it full. Nobody can find the time for you, and even if you need them to find time in your calendar and stuff like that, you might tell it to your boss that, sorry, but we don't have any times available, like what are we going to do now? You will have to deal with those things, because I don't think it's very healthy to stay in the place that you cannot even have time to book meetings or something like that. It's like crazy. So yeah, it's very influential. Some people don't use it. I mean, both I think Gmail and Outlook have their own calendars that you can design and stuff like this. Design it best for you, and also would be good, like even your boss might subscribe to your calendar, and they can see that, you are actually doing something, you are doing the right things or something like that. it might be good, but it can also backfire if you, in case you don't have much to do, then you cannot really fulfill it with some stupid stuff or something like that. But you will have to see it in a human perspective, because we are never the robots, but we are basically humans. These are just some tips that I can bring out in detail that is required for this. And as I can see, I think we have still like 18 minutes. So sorry about getting political here, but the thing about this is that what I don't mention in my video here right now is what I don't have points about is actually the stress that it can all cause. Because the problem here is that basically all those steps that we did in the job search and job hunt and stuff like that, it's going to be, this one opportunity that you chose. And if you can see only like bad stuff in your first day and think about it, that if you want to already quit or not, it can be very influential decision again, and might have taken you like for 5 months or something, like forever. You send out like 300 CVs and cover letters and you only got one offer. It can cause a lot of stress, and that's actually very influential in these kind of things, that to keep the mental health about all those things, especially in the difficult times like that. I mean, I don't remember, I see now that people post in LinkedIn and stuff. A lot of people are actually bringing out very interesting topics and stuff like that. I get my inspiration from there also. But I don't want to repeat what they are all saying, but the thing is that nowadays it's very difficult to search for the job. I made it pretty clear with my first video as well. And this keeping the job is equally as difficult, basically, because everybody wants to make cuts nowadays. Sorry. And this is it can be very like stressful, because of course, like in COVID times, it was also this kind of big cuts and stuff, but it was only for like 1 year, I think. It wasn't more than 1 year that you didn't find a job. 2020, somewhere in the middle, I think it was in the June or something, and in the next year, June, I already had chances. So, or even if it was less than that, maybe it was less than that. But yeah, with this COVID, it was very difficult to find a job at some point, and it also depends if it's different kind of seasons and stuff like that. It's crazy how the weather can just influence of you getting a job, because I don't think many people want to hire at the end of the year or something, that they want to save costs and make their goals come true and stuff like that, make their profits come true. At the end of the year, it's always like cutting more and more people. Why I'm speaking about this now is that now we are running in the same situation, basically, because we can see that basically economic recession has already started. I think I can now say it very, very clearly, because even though there's like banks is not doing very badly in our society, there is other places are all suffering. So only if the banks are doing well, it doesn't show that people are rich, and that influences everybody, and can cause very big stress. And not only that, but we can see that basically right now it's very difficult that we can be pulled to the war. And I don't want to sound like negative, because I want to help you with my videos, but you can only listen to positive that much, and especially when the things are not okay and people are saying, oh yeah, things are going to be okay, just wait and you will see. I mean, of course it's going to be very rough ride and stuff, and we can see that. And I mean, we can run into trouble like immediately, not after like a year or something, that it's going to get better. Or I don't think it will go better in 1 year. Honestly, I think this kind of thing will be very rocky road here. The recession has been delayed by, I don't know how many years was it. Was it like 5 years? Even if it was 5, I think it was even more. I think it was even maybe 7 years that is already delayed. So basically, we should have had already 2 recessions. Now that's going to be a big recession. And the other thing is that the wars at the same time is like crazy. I don't know, like Middle East is completely red, right? Israel fighting against everybody there. And I mean, Iran, Lebanon was it, and Gaza. Uh, I hope that more countries doesn't get involved there, but it's going to end up really badly. It's going to affect the economy even after that. I mean, of course, I know that the army industry is also booming and stuff like that, but it's not something that everybody works in. Most of the people, of course, prefer to stay as far away from the army as possible. So the army isn't exactly what somebody's going to do. And the second thing is that in Europe we have Russia and North Korea and Iran all against Ukraine, basically. I mean, Iran is sending them weapons. Of course, like Ukraine is also supported by Europe and stuff, but this North Korea is sending them so many shells and so many people now fighting there in Ukraine like crazy. So yeah, it's like that. It's going to be very rough and rocky ride. And honestly, I think at some point it can reach to a point that it's going to be this kind of. Sorry, if you have to leave, you can actually leave, but I'm just going to debate here a little bit. If it's going to be dragged in the war, Europe is going to be dragged in the war, or US is going to be dragged in the war, it's going to get really crazy out here. It's going to get really crazy. And I don't know if actually economy at the same time is going to, go with that. The thing is that where I want to reach with this topic is that there's going to be, change. There's going to be a big change in the world, and because everybody wants to get out of this economic situation, but the thing is that we cannot go back to the 80s or 90s or something like that. That was the best times, or 90s especially, because the Soviet Union collapsed. But what's going to happen is that we have to find other ways to be working, because the old ways are not working that effectively anymore. And one good thing actually that can be in this that I see is that the competition is going to decrease. Nowadays the competition is really high. I think the sales, as we mentioned before, those sales people, they're selling you everything. You're getting calls here and there, you're getting emails, you're getting spam. Even if you're just a private person, if you're like a CEO of something, it's already more than that. This crazy amount of people selling you stuff. Everybody's selling you stuff now, and the competition is really high. You can find a lot of guys that are like dealing with one of the stuff. Even if it's like electrical engineering, you have specific components or something. Might be a lot of companies around the world that are doing those components. And one good thing that I might see here is that actually the competition is going to be shaken up later, because the thing is that if the competition is too high, then nobody's going to be profitable, and too many entrepreneurs and stuff like that, people are going to be doing cuts and going bankrupt. However, it means also difficulties, because they are not going to hire as many people for these jobs anymore. Even if the other company is doing better, they're going to keep all the workers, but you know, the others are doing cuts, and after the cuts they are like micromanaging more, reaching to the details, and you can be more safe there. So that's what it might bring after those things. However, like it's going to be, you know, very long time that we're going to get to this point, and that's why we have to use everything in our power. That's why I think these videos are very influential, and if you follow those videos, I think it can actually help you also to get some advantages over the others. Because I mean, they can look like your friends at work, but actually, basically, they are in your boss eyes or in your manager eyes. They're basically your, you know, competition. They are going to debate if they're going to need all those positions, and especially when they haven't done the cuts yet. If they had done a big cut, then they are probably not going to do anymore because they need to, you know, get back on feet. But if they're not having the cuts yet, then I will feel very threatened by others already. And I know that you know, if they hire new people all the time, then and you are a senior worker, might be feeling like, what the hell are you guys doing in the recession time, right? So I mean, it can get really, really rocky, but let's see what the time will bring and stuff like that, because I don't think it's, you know, Russia is doing very well either. And North Korea is also living in the 80s, maybe China in the 80s or something like that. So they are definitely not that modern, and maybe they will have, you know, karma coming up, but it will be very difficult because right now NATO is a defensive organization, not an attacking one. So let's see about it. And sorry about getting off the topic here, because I think this topic about the first day was for some of you was really influential. But the thing is that I don't really have I haven't done videos that are following up my, you know, the first video that was speaking about the situation. And about this situation, it's good to refresh the situation every like month or two. So I should actually do it by the month now. I think this month is pretty much covered now, and let's see, maybe in December I will do another one, and I can start naming them as like how is the job market doing in December 2024, right? So I think these kind of things I can make more videos about, and especially when I'm doing the others, then I got kind of swayed away with this topic, so I put two topics in the same video, and I hope it was okay for you to hear, but that's how I see it going. I know that it's going to be pretty bad, and it's not a lie. It's basically, you know, it's the grim truth that you're going to hear, and I'm not sure how to fully tackle those things, but we would actually have to also focus what we can do about it, because if you're too swayed with this topic, if we're too worried about those topics, then we're not going to reach anywhere as well, because I think good things happen when somebody sees the opportunity in all these things, especially if it's going to shake up things, because the war is very, very bad. People die, and innocent people die. It's crazy how wars are fought in this day, and I don't even understand like why are the wars even happening, and you know, why did Russia attack Ukraine? But the thing goes back to history, and they are still living in old times, and that's the main reason about it. And you know, North Korea, they are also living in the old times. That's why they are so crazy, and that's what happened. I don't know about Middle East, because I think this one isn't actually that you know, Palestine lives in the old times and Israel doesn't, but it's more about this nowadays threats. It's a new kind of threat for the world. It's terrorism, right? That is, it's they basically justified this thing, But I don't say that this justification is enough. However, it's still a bad thing to have terrorists, because I mean, if you're going to send your kids to school and then they're going to get some bomb attack news then about this school, it's not a good thing. So yeah, or some threats. So let's think about it for more and more, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let's see what I'm going to do as my next video. I have some ideas about working also, not only the first day, but this one is a small start, let's say, and as we go step by step into the final conclusions. I know that some of you already need this laying off video and stuff like that, this firing video, what to do in this case, and stuff, because it's going to be very crazy. But I mean, the best thing you can do is to go for the full circle again, like job search. That's the main truth. And luckily I have those videos out. I didn't say like how to get the most amount of money yet from the company, because when you get laid off or something like that, or what kind of laws to require, because every law is different, and it's very, very bad, because it should be standardized, and especially they shouldn't be doing this to human rights. But hey, wars shouldn't be done as well. And I mean, 3 years ago I wasn't thinking that there would be any wars happening nowadays, like any wars. And now here we are with this third year of the Ukraine invasion. Crazy. I mean, almost third year. I really hope that it's Russia will get pushed back with this, because it shouldn't be happening. If they are bringing out some example that you can do these kind of things, it's only going to get even worse. And let's not forget about Ukraine and stuff. Yeah, Middle East, I wouldn't say that Lebanon is fair, but definitely Iran is fair, because I mean, you are supporting Russia, you are supporting terrorists in any kind of way that you can. So attacking you is actually something that you kind of deserved, because honestly you shouldn't be doing those things, especially like threatening some innocent people in some ways. And of course they're going to retaliate with all these things that they can. So yeah, I'm sorry if I bring it out too like strictly. Maybe you can sway my thoughts about it, but let's see. We can have a debate in the comments about it. But yeah, let's see you next time. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.